On our quads and glutes today. We're going to throw in a little bit of triceps and we'll do some abs as well. Just a couple of rules of thumb. If you're out to build muscle, try to use a weight that you can only do 8 to 12 of, and getting that 13th one is almost impossible. That will help with both strength and hypertrophy. I'll put a little graphic up so best way to approach muscle building and strength is to time under tension. Time under tension is super important. When I first started at weightlifting, I did German volume training, and you can find all kinds of things on the broadcast for free. But German volume training is just what it sounds like. It's a lot of volume, a lot of weight, a lot of sets. If you're just starting out, I do recommend if you want to see a lot of progress fast, to do a lot of volume. You can do this workout 3 to 6 times. That means 3 to 6 sets of each exercise. We're going to go through one set and let's get to it. First things first, we're going to start with a warm-up. Ideally, you'll want to get your heart rate up. We can do, you want to do 7 to 10 minutes. And you ideally want to do some things that you're going to tell your body what you're going to be doing. We can start with some air squats, okay? Exactly what it sounds like. You can do a low or high range of motion. The higher range of motion, the better. You want to come down, squeeze at the top. And I don't know how many that is. We'll say that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, keep going, you got it, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's some variants you can do. If you can't do that full range of motion, that's okay. You can do a quarter squat, okay? Something is better than nothing. If you start with a quarter squat, you will eventually be able to get a full range squat, which they call ass to grass, which I can't quite do, but it has a little bit more to do with my anatomy. Another thing you can do is set a plate under your feet, which will help give you a little bit more mobility. So this probably isn't high enough, but if you're at a Wasteland gym, something like that. And for today's workout, you will need weights. You will need preferably some kind of bench, couch, table, something that you can do some tricep dips on. And because we'll also be doing everybody's favorite Bulgarian split squats. Other warm-up exercises. We can do these Cossack squats or side lunges, whatever you want to call them. Okay, that's exactly what it looks like. If you hear my knees crackling, well, they are crackling. And we're going to try to do 20 of these. This is going to warm up your hip flexors and your quads. I am not counting, but we'll say that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good job. Hey man, and just remember, you showed up. You showed up, and that's pretty big. Some other things we can do. You probably want to get your whole body kind of started. And I'm going to do some arm circles. Let's just do both arms. We're going to do 5 each way. That's 3, 4, 5. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I like to do cross. Do my arms across like this. I think it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm going to go back to do some squats, some air squats. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Have a rest if you need to. Get a drink of water. Pause for a second. We're also going to be doing some glute bridges, so let's get our glutes warmed up for that. You'll want to have your shoulder blades kind of squished, squishing your shoulder blades together and lift up. Okay, you're going to squeeze at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give it a really good squeeze at the top. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Should really be feeling it here in your glutes. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And again, when you're warming up, it's really more about just getting the blood flowing to the muscles. So if there's another movement that feels good for you to do for 7 to 10 minutes, you don't have to do this. But I really do enjoy, I enjoy doing upper body more than anything else. You can do a few push-ups if you want. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Some other movements you can try. Jumping jacks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. And then I'm going to do some other stuff because my hip flexors tend to get really tight. So I'm just going to do some of these knee ups, knee to chest. And you can take them out and do, these kind of semicircles here. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear that, but very crickety. Ooh. Ooh. If you need to hold on to something, hold on. Whew. Another thing I like to do, especially if you have access to a squat rack, this will help in getting that ass to grass, as they like to put it. Ooh. All right, let's start our workout. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a goblet squat. Again, these are going to be weights. You shouldn't be able to do more than, if you can do 15, that's fine, but you really want to do weights where 8 to 12. Okay, 12 should be pretty hard. I don't have super heavy weights at home, so we're just doing it with a 20-pound kettlebell. Let's go for 12. 3, 4. You did the hard part. You showed up. 5, 6, 7, 8. The other thing you should kind of take note of is the tempo. So another thing you should take note of is the tempo. The eccentric movement is what pre-war studies show. If you put it under the time under tension method to it, the eccentric movement is where you'll want to spend the most time, okay? And that's usually the movement down, right? It's not the forced one. This is concentric, eccentric. So slow descent, pause at the bottom, concentric, eccentric. You can even do a powerful, a power explosive movement up. And I don't know which number we're on. Maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Normally I would do, if I'm at my Wasteland gym, I would typically be doing at least an 80-pound goblet squat. Just because it's mostly, I only do 80 because it's pretty hard to hold on to 80 pounds and squat for me. So you do a weight that's comfortable with you. Next one you can do with dumbbells. You can do it with a barbell. I happen to have this barbell, so I'm going to do mine with barbell. You can do the same thing with dumbbells. So deadlift, this one is really going to, we're going to do Romanian deadlift. It's really going to focus on your posterior chain. I like to do a mixed grip, which there's a couple of different grips you can do on your bar. You can do a hook grip. I tend to do a mixed grip, which is 1 over, 1 under. Okay, it does make it a little bit easier. If you want more focus on your hamstrings, you're going to want to try to have an almost straight leg. You always want the bend in your knee. Okay, we right into it. So, Romanian deadlift. Ooh. You want the straight back, you should be able to fly a plane off of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just 2 more if you can do it. 11. Notice I'm going very slow on the way down. 12. Okay. Is a squat. So for these you can do wide leg, you can do narrow, you can just do a half squat, you can do ass to grass, which I don't think I can right this moment. Some people do need to elevate their heels to get ass to grass. Oop. My little table back here is not letting me go. Oh, here we go. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And then just a note is that ideally, if you're in a Wasteland gym, if you're working out at home, you want to do each exercise however many sets you're going to do them. So at the beginning we did goblet squats. You want to do the 3 to 6 sets of goblet squats, then move on to the next one. Likewise with Romanian deadlifts, with the weighted squat, and for the next one we are going to do Bulgarian squats. Now you do not have to do this weighted, especially if it's your first time, but it is a great way to target your quads, and you will need a bench or something a table, something that's stable that you can sit on. So if you watched one of the old Vault-Tec videos I did, one of the tricks to finding your foot placement is to kind of sit on your laces, and then kind of wherever you naturally will put your foot out, that is where you should be. And then think of this more as like a single leg squat, right? So we're just kind of using this back leg to hold us up. And we want to put all our weight in this front leg, okay? So 3, 4, 5, control, 6, and come down slowly, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, okay? So let's switch to the next leg. There's only 2. So again, we're gonna do I'm gonna sit down on my laces, and then I'm just gonna move my foot wherever, and I'm gonna step out wherever I would naturally want to step out. Of course, I move my foot, but I don't think that's quite right. 3. I'm going to try to go down slowly. 4, 5, 6. You should also be feeling this in your glutes as well. I think it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. And then we're going to do one more glute focused one. So you can also do this lying down. You don't have to do this off of the bench. But I think you get a better range of motion. And if it's uncomfortable, if you only have dumbbells, you can put a towel across your lower abdomen. And I typically like to do this with my shoulders on a bench. Or if you have the glute machine, you can do that. This might be actually a little bit tall for me. But the principles are the same. So 1, 2, really squeeze at the top if you want to grow those glutes. You can pause for a moment. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, ooh, this is burning, 12. All right, get yourself a drink, grab some water, and you made it through most of the workout. Yeah, again, if you're really looking to build muscle, definitely do at least 3 sets of each exercise. When I'm at the gym, I typically pick an anterior or posterior focus day. That means quads or glutes, and hamstrings. So, and then I will pick an exercise to do maybe 6 sets of, and try to do at least 2 or 3 drop sets. And that's where you start with a super heavy weight, where you can only do like 8 to 12. And then I try to drop down like 20 to, just depends on what exercise it is. So yesterday I did spend an hour and a half on my legs in the gym, and the sets I did the most of were probably the leg extensions, because it was more of a quad focused day. But then I also did 5 sets of glute kickbacks. So really, I tend to pick 1 or 2 exercises that I do a ton of sets of, depending on my focus that day, and then everything else is sort of like a 3 or 4 set accessory. All right, the next phase we will go it's just some other exercises you can do if you're at home and you have a bench. If you have a yoga ball, you can do something like this. Okay, if you don't have weights, you do want to put it on something stable. It gives you a really big range of motion. It also kind of works your hamstrings a little bit. You can also do something where you take some sliders, if you have like a smooth surface on your floor, and you do your sliders. You can do a slide out, out. Obviously I don't have that in here. So, all right. And in between all your sets, you can do tricep dips, especially if you have a bench. So just go ahead, do some tricep dips in between. Come down to that 90-degree angle on your elbows and just do it till you can't do it anymore. Or likewise, if you're at a gym, you can also do those tricep cables. Just remember, keep your elbows close to your ears. And we're not moving our whole arms, okay? We're not moving this. Just imagine that like you have a steel cage or something that's holding your arm static here. And we're really just looking for that isolation of that tricep muscle, okay? You can even, if you do a single arm one, you can even feel it, because that mind-muscle connection is very important in building muscle. Muscle control, time under tension, and the mind-muscle connection are arguably the best, you know, the biggest parts of muscle hypertrophy and strength training. Okay. So next, let's do some abs. All right. Okay. For this part, we're just doing a plank. We're gonna do 1 minute. If you can, I've got it set for 1 minute and 8 seconds. So, you know, if you can only do 15 seconds, 30 seconds, that's okay. The important thing is showing up and starting. You just have to start, okay? And you just have to keep showing up. If you do find yourself kind of bored, or, you know, you start to feel that shaking in your core, you can do some up downs, okay? Kind of distract yourself. You can do that. You can kind of push yourself forward on your toes. It does cause a little bit more contraction, especially in the lower abs. You can also do oblique dips. Okay, but the important thing is just to stay up. Okay, there's not that much time left, so you're almost there. It's 15 more seconds. And honestly, once it gets to the 8 seconds, you've already done a minute. So now it's at a minute now. Just I don't know why I did a minute and 8 seconds, but here we are. All right, if you did any amount of time on that, if you did 15 seconds, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for being here and showing up. A strong core is going to help you in all areas of life. Yeah, so the next one, we're going to do a Russian twist. This one, if you don't feel super comfortable, you can do this without weights. And you can push your feet under your couch or under some weights if you need that stability. So Russian twist, or exactly what it sounds like. You're twisting your whole torso while you're in a, you know, kind of contracted position. And I'm not counting. Maybe that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And you do want to do an even number since we're doing one on each side. Whew. All right. Let's see. Let's do some crunches. On crunches, you will want to lead with your chin. You're pointing your chin towards the ceiling and you're contracting everything, okay? It's a lot of upper abs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You should feel a little burn. You can only do 10. That's okay. You should be feeling a little bit of burn, especially like right here, okay? Is a leg lift. Let me just move this. Come on. I just don't want to be laying on my garage floor. And if you have a little bit of like lower back problems, you may want to kind of put a little bit of padding under your lower back. You don't want your legs to come all the way down. You want that control. You know, you can also, if you want to give yourself a little more challenge, lift your shoulders off the ground. Okay. I think that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Okay, if you need a drink, get a glass of water, take a little break. You can do that anytime. Anytime you can do that. Just reminding you, because I do forget to drink water myself. And I do recommend to do the ab series. Just do it one more time over. Next time I will move into some more variety of ab exercises. You can try some jackknives. We do a variety of other things. I did have a specific request for legs, triceps, and abs, so I have included elements of all of that in this video. And once you get more comfortable in your movements, you will be able to do your own workouts. I don't follow any apps. I just show up. I don't follow any specific workout regimen. I just show up to the gym. I work on the areas that I do take a lot of progress pictures, and I say, I think my front delts, they need work. So I may spend, extra time on my front delts for a few weeks. And then once I see those improvements, I just do try to keep balance when I'm bodybuilding. I don't have any specific goals. I do like to have, big arms. I do like to have, a nice firm chest. So it really depends on what your personal goals are, but if your goals are muscle growth and strength, definitely time under tension, control, the slow eccentrics, which there's some debate on whether or not it's the slow eccentric or just the muscle control, but either way, those slow eccentrics will help you maintain muscle control. So this exercise should help you get legs or body a little bit like a Deathclaw. And just stay safe out there, Wastelanders. Thanks for showing up.
But we can't expect God to do all the work.